Welcome to the fifth part of FLL Judge Training. This part of the training will outline the process used to determine which teams receive awards at FLL tournaments. The process used to determine which teams receive awards, known as the deliberations process, is not as complicated as it might seem at first. Here's a quick introduction to the steps. During each judging session, you'll make notes and complete a rubric for each team. As you see teams, keep a running rank of teams. The easiest way to do this is by putting them in a pile in rank order. Next, you will confirm your ranking of teams and choose up to 2 teams to nominate for each award from your room. Next, the initial Champions Awards candidates are identified using ranking and award nomination data from all the judges. Some tournaments will have callbacks at this point. Next, all the judges in each area will discuss award candidates and overall rankings in that area. The last steps are done by all the judges, starting with discussion of the Champions Awards candidates, followed by a vote for Champions Award winners. From there, the winners of the remaining core awards are finalized, followed by any optional awards. Finally, scripts are written for the awards ceremony. You don't need to memorize the chart, as a judge advisor will be there to lead you through the process. Judge advisors are responsible for all aspects of the judging process, including successful deliberations, which ultimately translate into a rewarding experience for all teams. Judges are asked to abide by a deliberations room code of ethics. What happens in the room stays in the room. All discussions of team performance should happen in the deliberations room or between judging pairs, and not at lunch or in the hallways. There are a lot of frank, open, and honest preliminary discussions that do not need to be heard beyond the deliberations room. Remember to treat all judges with respect. They are volunteering just like you are. Communicate honestly and communicate constructively. Realize that there can be several right answers, and that is why you are judges, not referees. Referees have clearer rules. Judging is much more subjective. A different group of judges can come to a different final answer depending on what they see and what they believe to be the best approach. Realize that your answer is right, even if it is different from another judge. Work together to reach a consensus. That doesn't mean that everyone has to agree on everything, but as a whole, you should feel positive about the results of the process. Stay focused, stay engaged, and participate. Most importantly, have fun. We want you to be inspired and to inspire the kids. The best way to do that is to ensure they have a lot of fun doing what they are doing. In the first steps, judge pairs evaluate teams, rank them, and nominate them for awards. They do this only for the teams that they see. Every team is judged by 3 different pairs of judges: core values, project, and robot design. The first step is the judging sessions. The recommendation is that you see about 12 teams on average in order to help you remember differences between teams. As mentioned previously, be as specific as possible when asking questions, taking notes, discussing teams with co-judges. Pay close attention to detail. Your notes with evidence that supports a team's ranking will be especially helpful for decision-making for awards. The rubric is the standardized evaluation tool to help judges know what to look for during an FLL judging session. After viewing each team, judging pairs should complete 1 rubric per team. In addition to assigning a level, the rubric should contain meaningful feedback in each category. Completing the rubric is one of the most essential tasks of any judge, as it is the direct link between the judging process and the teams. Providing comments and feedback for the teams is how they recognize their strengths and learn where their challenges may be. These forms are returned to teams at the end of the day or soon after the event. Complete the trainings for each judging area to get more tips on how to quickly complete rubrics while providing excellent feedback to teams. As teams are seen, the judge pair will create an overall ranking of teams. The best practice is to create a stack of rubrics in rank order. As each team is seen and their rubric is completed, together with the other judge, determine whether that team's level of achievement was greater than or less than each previously seen team. Simply insert the team's rubric according to their performance relative to the other teams you've seen so far. After you see all the teams, review and confirm your rank order list. After the teams are judged, each judging pair completes their award nominations worksheet. This form allows each judging pair to select 2 to 3 teams from the group of teams that they judge to be nominated for each of the awards. So, in this example, the judging pair from this robot design room picked 2 teams to consider for mechanical design, 2 teams to consider for programming, 2 teams to consider for strategy innovation. They listed a couple of reasons why those teams were chosen to help facilitate discussions later. Each robot design judging pair will complete this same process. Each judging pair may also submit their recommendations for Judges Award, Adult Coach Mentor, and Young Adult Mentor as applicable. For those regions that have callbacks, if there is particular information that you want to get from a team, you can note it at the bottom of this form. Step 3 works a little differently at each tournament. In this outline, the judge advisor and head judges compile all the ranking and award nomination information from the judge pairs. They use this information to select initial Champions Award candidates. In some regions, additional judges may join the selection process, and in small tournaments, initial candidates may be obvious after a short discussion. Many tournaments proceed directly to Step 5 with deliberations in each judging area. After the Champions Award teams to consider are selected, some tournaments use callbacks to gather any other additional information about any team to help make decisions. All or some of the teams considered for awards may be scheduled for a callback. If the tournament does have callbacks, make it clear to the teams that a callback should not be an expectation for an award. Just because they got called back does not necessarily mean they are going to win a trophy, and just because they didn't get called back does not necessarily mean that they will not win a trophy. All judges from each area will then meet together and use their room rankings to compile an overall ranking of each award in their area. This part of deliberations is facilitated by the head judges in each area. In this process, teams who are outstanding in individual award areas are determined by all the judges for each core area. Much discussion is typically involved to highlight the strength of one team against another. For example, the judging pair that nominated the Purple Panthers team for Mechanical Design Award would highlight the reasons why the team was nominated. They had a very robust drivetrain. They had no failures. Their design cycles were outstanding. The documentation for how they picked particular attachments was excellent. Keep it short and factual, and try to avoid, "They were just great, and everyone should give them an award because they blew us away." Deliberative discussion is the primary tool used in FLL to normalize the team nominations and confirm that all the great teams didn't happen to be assigned to the same judging pair. Each judging pair that nominated a team for award consideration will have the same opportunity to speak on behalf of the team they nominated. Voting can often be the easiest way to merge the rankings. Be sure to speak up if you see any teams who are missing from the award ranking list that you expected to see, or if there are teams on the list you didn't expect to see. The deliberations process sometimes seems long at this point in the day, but it's important to stay engaged. If your judging area finishes before the other areas, be sure to follow the head judge or judge advisor's instructions about what to do while you wait. Often, you'll be asked to stay in the deliberations room so the discussion can continue right after the other areas finish. The last steps in the deliberations are done by all the judges together. Champions Awards are decided first, followed by the other core awards. Any optional awards are decided last. Final deliberations are facilitated by the judge advisor with help from the head judges in each area. After initial deliberations, the judges consider Champions Award candidates. The list of Champions Award candidates, usually identified by the judge advisor, is presented to all of the judges. Each judging area highlights the reasons that teams were strong in their area. For the sake of time, judges are often given a time limit, such as 2 minutes, to describe the strengths of each Champions Award candidate team in each area. If you're asked to speak about a team, keep it short, factual, and focused on specific evidence that supports their strengths. Once all the Champions Award candidates have been discussed, a voting process is used to determine the Champions Award winners. Every judge should vote, unless they must abstain due to a conflict of interest. Champions Award-winning teams must be well-rounded and meet the 40% robot performance hurdle. This means that a Champions Award-winning team might not be first place in any area. For example, a team who was fourth place in each of the core values, project, and robot design would be a better candidate for Champions Award than a team who was second place in project, third place in robot design, but ranked 10th in core values. Once the Champions Awards have been decided, the judges will finalize the remaining core awards based on the rankings already created in each area. Because teams can only win one award, a team that is ranked first in 2 different areas would require some discussion about which area is most appropriate for recognition. After all the core awards, it is time to finalize the optional awards. Sometimes, judges have a hard time deciding between 2 teams to receive awards. The discussion should always start with what was observed in judging sessions. Your notes and comments that reference specific evidence should be the first tools to determine which team should receive an award. If 2 teams are equal in their judging performance, you might consider some other factors as tiebreakers, such as their core values, robot game scores, especially for robot design awards, any challenges they encountered, and other team characteristics like their experience with FLL, expectations for their age, or number of team members. When discussing core values awards, judges will always consider core values. During discussions for other awards, these factors should only be discussed when the 2 teams appear to be otherwise equal. If one team did better than the other based on their judging session, that team should be selected without weighting any of these factors. In preparation for the awards ceremony, award scripts will need to be written. Judges familiar with the award-winning team should prepare a specific, meaningful explanation for why each team was selected. Write 2 or 3 sentences to be read at the awards ceremony. Incorporate team name, theme, or something special about the team to foreshadow their win. Be creative, use humor if appropriate, keep it short, and be professional. Here's a sample award script that may help get the creativity going. Begin with one sentence that gives a subtle hint, like being a rookie team, that applies to many teams. In the second sentence, give a hint that the winning team might understand, such as a team color, but keep it vague enough that it still might refer to multiple teams. In the third sentence, give a bigger hint that tells the winning team it's probably them, but they still can't be completely positive. The last sentence should start, "And the award goes to." Here is an example of a well-written script. Our first place programming team had concise, well-documented modular code. They used advanced techniques like PID line following. With a good use of both sensors and mechanical positioning, they could navigate and innovate, and innovate, and innovate until the sun came up. The first place programming award goes to Team 17200, Dawn of Innovation 3. And one more example. Inspiring others for this team comes easily. They've discovered how to share their vision effectively, applying first values in everything they do. They even found some time to dance with seniors, too. Using their normal method, sharing all they had to say, this preppy group was anything but gray. The first place Inspiration Award goes to Team 15700, SAP Gray Matters. In summary, you'll begin by seeing around 12 teams in the judging sessions. Within your judge pair, you'll rank teams and nominate them for awards. Next, each area will complete initial deliberations to decide which teams are nominated for each award in the area. In final deliberations, Champions Awards are decided first, followed by the core awards, and then the optional judges and local awards. The deliberations process finishes by judges writing scripts to include in the awards ceremony for each award-winning team. Now is the time to relax and celebrate. The hard part is done. Enjoy sharing in the team's excitement. This is one more opportunity to interact with teams and serve as a positive role model. At the awards ceremony, judges are often asked to sit in a special area, be recognized, assist with distributing medals or trophies, and read the award script announcing why a team won a specific award. You're almost finished with FLL judge training. In order to become a certified FLL judge, be sure to complete the certification questions. You'll need to receive an 80% or greater to pass. If you have trouble, you can complete the questions again until you reach 80%. Now that you know the general information on FLL judging, you'll also need to complete core values, project, or robot design judge training. Each area training also includes questions that require a passing score to be a certified judge in that area. Before your event, be sure you review the judge prep pack and receive the details about your event. Remember, being prepared as a judge will help you have a great time at the event and gives teams the most fair experience possible. After you have a great time serving as a judge, we hope you'll consider volunteering again at a First LEGO League or another First event. The deliberations process can seem complicated at first. Help yourself remember the deliberations process by making your own graph, chart, or list of the steps. You can use the flowchart as a starting point or design your own. Be sure to include all the steps. What will you be doing during each part of the process? Thank you again for completing FLL judge training. And thanks, too, for agreeing to judge for First LEGO League. Truly, we couldn't run tournaments without qualified judges, and we appreciate your time. Now that you're familiar with the basics of judging, be sure to complete the training for the area you'll be judging: core values, project, or robot design.